Hello everybody and welcome again to my channel. This time I wanted to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses and their view of worldly people. Now those of us who have been Jehovah's Witnesses, when you hear the term worldly, instantly you have an association that comes up with that. You think of them as, first of all, people who are not servants of Jehovah, and since they're not servants of Jehovah, that means that they're part of Satan's wicked world. And therefore they're probably doing something bad and they're probably not good people. And even the ones that are good people, well, they're still not serving Jehovah. I really believe that the term worldly is a term of hate speech, equivalent to racism. And I think that we should view use of the term worldly the exact same way that we view racism. And I think that we should do something to make known to the world that that's the type of group that Jehovah's Witnesses are. They are indeed a group that advocates hatred on some level of individuals who do not share their common belief. Now, they will say, oh, but we love people because we go to their doors to bring them this message so they too can choose to serve Jehovah. However, if people do not choose to serve Jehovah, then they are viewed as worldly and all the connotations that go along with it. And I think we have something powerful here to make known to people the way Jehovah's Witnesses view the rest of the world. If they actually understood what the term worldly meant to one of Jehovah's Witnesses, that might be something very powerful. And indeed, this is tied up closely with their policy of shunning, which on their website they go out of their way to deny. But their policy of shunning is one that has been devastating and destroying families for quite some time. And this is a second thing that we can make known. There's the JW Victims Day, during which people place various different memorials on kingdom halls, such or something explaining how they're being shunned and hurt by Jehovah's Witnesses. And that's definitely a good start. It's something I encourage engaging in. But I think that's a message we have to make known to the wider world. People have to know what Jehovah's Witnesses do to families. So I have friends that I grew up with that I'm now in contact again, now that I'm no longer under the mind control, no longer drinking the Kool-Aid. And my friends who are my age have families who are shunning them. So they told an interesting story. My friend's father is an elder, and he does not talk with his son because his son is disfellowshipped. He does, however, talk with his grandkids. So one of his grandkids, there was a particular day they were going somewhere, and he decided to preach to him that entire trip about Jehovah. And this upset the grandchild because he didn't really want to hear what the grandfather was saying. But the next day, they were also taking a trip, but the grandfather didn't bother preaching to him, so things were okay. Now, the interesting thing about this is the day that the grandson was being preached to, the grandfather was dressed up in a suit. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think that means? The grandfather was counting field service time by talking to his grandchild, by trying to indoctrinate him. This is how Jehovah's Witnesses are dehumanized. They view their own family members as ways to accomplish their goals within the organization. Imagine that. The particular person involved in doing that, I've known for some time. I don't think he's a bad person. I think he is just so indoctrinated that he thinks that he's doing the right thing, and he honestly thinks that he's trying to do the right thing for his grandson. But when you step back and you look at it from the standpoint of somebody who's awake, it's rather disheartening to see the way in which Jehovah's Witnesses will actively use their own family, actively not engage their family other than to get them involved in Watchtower activities. And it's something that I think if we make it known, it can have a powerful effect. This is one of those cases where we have to pull back the curtain and expose the Watchtower for what they are. Jehovah's Witnesses are taught to deny and not talk about the shunning policy. Their own webpage denies the policy, and until the very end of their discussion about it. In fact, if you go to jw.org and you go to the frequently asked questions section, there is information about shunning. And their direct answer to the question of whether or not Jehovah's Witnesses shun is no. Then they talk around it for a long time. At the very end, they say, well, if someone's unrepentantly engaging in wrongdoing, then they get disfellowshipped. So basically, they go out of their way to hide the truth and make it seem like something it's not. Those of us in the know, those of us who have lived the life, those of us who are currently being shunned, have the obligation to let the world know that the Watchtower is being dishonest on jw.org. We have to let the world know, those of us who are being shunned, we have to let the world know what the effect of that is on us. We have to let the world know how Jehovah's Witnesses view non-Jehovah's Witnesses. We have to educate them on what the term worldly means to Jehovah's Witnesses. And we have to put that in such a way that people understand the true type of group that Jehovah's Witnesses are. So that's just my thought for today. I was thinking about making a video about Jack's Judicial Committee. I haven't done so yet, but it's a very interesting piece. It's a nice way for you to see the way elders work, the way they don't think, the way they attempt to kick people out, the way the judicial committees are really in no way, shape, or form about helping people. They are about punishing people. Anyway, that's my video for this time. Thanks for watching.